before that way. I've done live Facebook, but I wasn't sure if it would just accept my friends or if it was going to be in the location and pull anyone that was on Facebook at that time and they wanted to view it. And obviously I can't see all the viewers unless they like my, like it or something or comment. I didn't have a whole lot. I promoted it before, a few days before that. And then I also boosted it on command. I got a lot of hits on it through command and when I boosted it, 3 days before. But live, it was a trial run, and I would say it was good, but it wasn't what I expected. I think I was hoping for a lot more views on it.
Okay, anybody else? And y'all may not be able to see me right now. That's because I'm looking for my PowerPoint and where I put it at on my screen so that I can share my screen with you. I have it up here that I'm thinking it's one, but I don't know if it is or not. So
we see you.
We can't see you, so don't pick your nose.
Y'all can see me?
We can.
Yes,
All
I
right.
can see you.
Is my nose clean?
You're Jody today.
I am, huh? The instructors become Jody. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, now I can share it. I was trying to find it and it was right here. So let me get back to you and let me see how I could get, okay. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen now. Can y'all see the share screen?
We do not.
No.
So make
You
sure
can?
you make sure you click on the PowerPoint and then click share after that.
Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, so let me go out of this again. Uh-oh.
Good morning, y'all. It's Katie. I'm sorry.
All right, let's talk amongst ourselves. Who have held successful open houses? Bonita, I know you said that you're scared right now, but Bonita, were your open houses successful that you've done in the past?
I've had good ones and bad ones.
You've had good ones and what?
And bad ones.
Okay, y'all can't see my screen, huh?
Not yet.
No, we can see you in your red Keller Williams shirt.
Red Date. I'm representing Red Date too. Okay. Okay, I opened it up. Let me go back the way that I know. Hold on.
Bonita be having those open houses where she bake pies and cookies and cakes for the clients to come through.
Yeah, that's exactly what Bonita did, and it was good, right?
Yeah.
Because it had the houses smelling. So why did you, Bonita bake cookies? Bonita, what I did not learn is Bonita wears several hats, and one of her hats is a baker. And as that baker, she baked cookies one day. She did an open house for me. So how do you think an open house is with the house smelling like cookies?
Awesome.
Right. Okay, so y'all can see my screen now?
No.
You still can?
I can see it. So Bonita, I'll be contacting you for orders for my open houses.
Okay.
Yes.
Deidre?
And yes.
Okay, you're on Zoom. And you see
I know, but I
all of
can't.
us.
I can see all of you.
Okay, and at the bottom you click share screen.
I did that.
And then you click on whichever screen you want us to see, the PowerPoint highlighted blue by clicking it.
Wait, let me see. I gotta go open it first.
It should pop up once you click share screen. You shouldn't have to open anything.
Oh, but okay, hold on then, because I did, hold on. See, I gotta keep closing this. I'm on this Mac, and that's my issue. When I come back to y'all, I have several things open on my screen. So I'm clicking share screen.
Yep.
Do y'all see my screen?
You have to click share 2 times. Share screen And then,
Oh, and then share.
there we go.
Okay, but now it's going. Hold on. There we go. Can y'all see that?
Yes, good job.
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Now I got to get back to my full slide. There we go. Thank you, Lord.
Good job, you.
Thank you, Lord. All right. So, open houses is what we have to do as one of our lead generating tools. And for our productivity coaching clients, we tell them to pick 3 lead generating sources that they want to use. And I would say that for everybody too, because we've learned how to run our business also, and we've learned how to set goals. And in setting our goals, you should also have a GPS, which is your action items. And on your action items, and I'm saying this to everybody, if you have not already done this, on your action items, you should pick 3 on your GPS, your 135. You should have your main goal, and we're going to do this main goal of lead generating. Okay, that's going to be your main goal, to lead generate. Now, your different strategies for lead generating could be your sphere of influence, open houses. It's several things that you can do to lead generate. You can pick 3 that you're going to do. And the 3 that you pick 5 action items out of your 3 strategies. You pick 5 action items, 5 things that you need to do these things properly. Okay? So now, if open houses is one of your lead generating strategies, and we know that all lead generating strategies don't work for everybody, because this business is no cookie cutter business, right? But if open houses is one of your lead generating styles, can somebody tell me the benefits that you get from having an open house? And when I started in the business in 2007, I did open houses everywhere. I did them for every agent because I didn't have the listings, but I did have listings. Every listing that's in our market center, you can ask that agent and other agents, can you host an open house for them? So even if you do not have a listing, do not let an open house deter you from letting that be one of your lead generating styles, right? So now, our goal today is to teach you how to do effective open houses. Because remember, I said this 2 weeks ago, knowledge is power once acted upon, right? So your open houses will be as effective as you are with preparing for them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now, what do successful agents do every day? What do you do? This is your business. What do you do every day? I can tell you what I do every day. I lead generate. So successful agents lead generate for buyers and sellers, right? Successful agents make seller listing presentations and get listings, right? Successful agents make buyer presentations and get listings. Successful agents preview real estate. And do you know what previewing real estate is, right? Checking the hot sheet every day to see what's new to the market, because we are the professionals. We don't want somebody telling us, did you see that house that came on the market in your neighborhood? No, we want to tell you, did you see that house? I know you're looking, right? So that's what we do. We grow our business. Now, once we grow our business, we run our business, knowing that you cannot run a business that you don't have, right? So we have to grow it in order to run it. And in running our business, what do? We market seller listings, right? That's what we have to do. That's part of, remember what I said, that real estate, this is your business. And for those of you that do not have anybody on staff, you are your only employee. Okay? So everything right now to run your business, so now you're growing your business, then you also have to run your business. But the growing your business is the very important piece of it. Running your business is also. So what you have to do is you have to find time. And how do you find time? You have to time block. You have to manage your time on when you're going to work on growing your business and when you're going to work on running it, right? And do you understand why every Ignite session says these same things? Can somebody tell me why?
Well, I'm guessing it would be for reinforcement, because if you keep saying the same thing, it's almost like reinforcement to make sure you don't forget what it is you're supposed to be doing.
Yes, okay. So, faith comes by hearing, right? We have to hear it. And once we're hearing it, we want to keep hearing it, and we want to keep saying it until it becomes a habit to us. Because right now, what we're looking to do is form great habits, right? So we first have to grow our business. Once we've grown our business, then we have to run our business. So running our business is marketing your seller listings. You have to show buyers houses. You have to negotiate contracts. You have to manage all of your transactions from start to finish. You have to manage your vendors, what vendors you're using. Your biggest thing is you have to set goals. Because if you do not have, and I'm speaking to everybody, because you're looking at an agent that has been a top producer since I have been in this market, and did I set goals? No. I just started doing this about 3 to 4 years ago, maybe a little longer. And I was successful, but just think of how much more successful I could have been if I really focused on it and had my goal set up. So when I reached this goal, I was just selling, I was just working. But we have to work with a goal in mind, because if not, we're just aimlessly walking, right? Okay. So we have to compliance and risk management. We have to make sure all of our contracts, these contracts that we're writing, are legal and binding documents, okay? And the legal and binding documents that they are, we have to make sure we have everything correct on it, because we are the professional that's representing our clients, right? And so if you do not know a contract from start to finish, I would say to everybody to practice writing contracts. Practice with several buyers in several scenarios. All right, any questions or anything right here? No? All right. I'm moving too slow for me, and then I move too fast. Okay. What are the benefits of hosting an open house? Talk to me. Talk to me. What are the benefits?
You get leads, you get buyers.
Okay. And how do you get those buyers?
Well, you meet them and you can establish a connection with them.
Capture their
Okay. Okay, and so when you're establishing a connection with them, that's a relationship, right? Because we're in the relationship business. Okay, so what else what are, it's right in front of you. So what are some other benefits? Why would they say an open house is inexpensive?
Because you show up, you might bring a few materials, your cards and things you already have, but you really don't have to spend money on it.
Okay, so now it's inexpensive monetarily, right? But this is where we put in our time. You know how you put in that sweat equity when you work in your business? Because an open house, if done the right way, it takes a lot of your time for preparing, but the money, monetarily, you don't have to spend any money, right? You get a high return on your investment and great exposure. You get qualified leads, right? And it's a productive way to meet buyers. Right? Okay, so now, according to NOR, their 2019 profile of home buyers and sellers, 51% of all buyers used an open house as a source of information in their home search process. I think that's great news, right?
Yep.
Right?
Right.
Okay, so what is our number one job?
Lead generating.
Okay, and if 51% of all buyers used an open house, who is ready to do open houses once we can, once it's safe again?
I am.
All right, everybody, I have some listings for you, all right?
Okay.
We have lots of listings for you to do open houses at. So the benefits that you get from an open house, okay, if it's done the proper way, your goal when doing the open house is to do what? Is to sell that listing? Is that your goal, to sell that listing?
Lead generate.
But is it to?
It's nice if you sell that listing too, but if you don't, maybe you'll sell something else in the neighborhood.
Okay. All right. So your purpose. Go ahead.
Mostly to market it, to expose it to the market, finding potential interested parties, as well as to have the opportunity to pick up people who are looking to buy. May not be that house, but maybe another.
Very good. Anything else?
Yeah, couldn't you also pick up potential sellers? If you prospected the neighborhood to promote your open house, wouldn't you also have people who may be, or I'm thinking about selling, selling in another year or so. So you're prospecting for sellers as well as buyers.
Correct. Now, okay, wait, I'm going the wrong way. Hold on. Prepare. So let's go over hosting. How many people have heard of a 7-level open house?
I have.
I have, yes.
All PCs should say I have. Okay. So now your first step is preparing, right? Now, then once you prepare it, and we're going to go over all of these in detail. Once you prepare, you have to prospect for it, and then you have to pursue it. Okay? So now, when we are prospecting, we're preparing it. We're setting it up, right, for a successful open house. Then you have to promote it, right? Then you have to follow up. That's what pursue means. If anybody didn't know that meaning, pursue means that everybody that has come, that you have prospected, you are going to follow up with them, because where we all fall short a lot of times is in the follow-up. And where is our money?
In the follow-up.
Okay, Tonda. I have 21 people online, and I feel like I'm talking to a couple of people. All right, I didn't know, this right now, what we're playing here, this is a contact sport, right? So tag, you're it. And look, I can't see anybody because all I can see is my screen right now. So I'm listening, all right? So now, this is a warning. Real estate agents who violate the Telephone Consumer Protection Act and the National Do Not Call Registry face potentially catastrophic legal damages. Do not use or leave artificial or pre-recorded messages, and check the National Registry and your internal registry before you dial. Everybody understand that?
Yes.
This is very important. Okay, so now, okay, who's ready to prepare for a successful open house?
Me.
I am. I guess I'll have to talk to myself and be animated with myself. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We have something to do every day. Okay? So now, while we're preparing, this is key. You want, if you have listings, you're obviously promoting your own listings. I allow agents to do my open houses. I allow our PC agents to do my open houses to get business, okay? So, but if you have your own listing, you are going to court that listing until it sells. And this is what I say a lot of times to some people who are tired of doing a certain house. But if it's in your neighborhood, this is your house. It's not about that house. It's about you lead generating to that neighborhood. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
If you have listings in your own neighborhood, like I live in a big subdivision, and my subdivision, I have a street name, it's the east and the west. Well, I think it's 100, no, it's not 100. It's 76 houses that I formed to, meaning that I'm constantly sending stuff to them. So if there was a house in my subdivision that I can host an open house at, that's what I would do. Because you want to become the professional in your area, especially your own neighborhood. And I know that, we're told that if a certain agent has that market, don't try to form that market. But I say if that is your neighborhood, you make it your market.
Deirdre,
Yes.
if that you're saying host open houses, all the ones in your neighborhood, but if it's already listed by another agent, I thought we couldn't host there in another company.
We've been, because of our new agents, you can host as long as you have the approval, and don't take this to court because I'm not an attorney, so I shouldn't, from what I understand, we can host an open house for anybody, even a for sale by owner. Now, what I do is I would like to promote listings that are in we have a whole, when you're part of a company, you have all of the listings that market center could be your listings. So if one market center, if we have over 100 listings, we have more than enough listings, and we can look at the area that you want to participate in, and you pick the house that you want to do an open house at. All right? So it's part of your preparing. And if anybody knows anything differently about that you can share, you can come in and share it. I don't know if we have any brokers on the line.
Jody told me about, because I had a for sale by owner that I was courting, and it was a contractor, and he really he overly developed the home for the neighborhood. So he wanted like $550 for the house, but the comps were like $350, $400.
Ooh.
So he was adamant he was not coming down off his price. So I offered to do an open house for them just so I could get the buyers. And I used the Keller Williams script when I went on my listing appointment with him to say, you know, if 19 people come here, only one can buy your house. So here's how I can help you. I'll host an open house for you, and then you give me all the buyers that don't buy your house.
Perfect.
But you have to get their permission in writing to market their property.
That's our attorney. She's not the Keller Williams attorney, but she is an attorney.
This is not
Let me
to
get
be
that
construed
straight.
as legal advice.
Huh?
I said, this is not to be construed as legal advice, and it does not create a legal relationship between us. But anyway, but that's what Jody told me, that I had to get the seller's approval in writing to market their property.
Okay, right. And so, so that's to answer your question, Stephanie. I believe we can do open houses for anybody because we have, you know, Keller Williams offices are independently owned and operated. And we've hosted open houses for other Keller Williams agents that have listings that have been on the West Bank.
Okay.
Right. And we've done some open houses on weekends where we've come together. And that's something that I would love for all of us to do once we're able, is to get together to do an open house, a joint open house like we've done it before with our productivity coaching clients. All right. So now let's talk about your preparation. So in preparing, you're picking your location. Now, your time is very important. Of course, as I'm speaking in life as we have known it before this happened, right? So when there is a Saints game, you do not want to host an open house the day that the Saints play. Some people say LSU also, but I do them on Saturdays when it's football season. If it's a Sunday when the Saints are not playing, you want to take advantage of it if it's a bye week, because that's going to be a crucial Sunday. New Orleans, we live and die by our football team, right? So your time is always the location, the time that you're going to host your open house. You want to look at the traffic patterns to see when, you know, the traffic is, you know, heaviest. If it's a Saturday, is it around shopping? You want to, you know, look at all of that. If it's around a church and you want to do it on a Sunday, or you're doing it right after they get out of church. Now, you also want to follow the local practices, because we put our signs out. And when we're putting our signs out, we have to make sure that like in the Orleans Parish, you can put your sign out, I think 2 hours. Jefferson Parish, find out the rules of the parish that you're in regarding putting your directional signs out. Okay, I always put my signs out right before the open house, like maybe an hour or two before, because they take your signs. You go look for your directionals and they're gone. Now, you want to also put your signs out on every important intersection to guide you to that property. And I may be getting ahead of myself, so hold on one second. Let me get out of this. Okay, so now, prospecting. Okay, before we get to prospecting, I want to tell you what we're going to do on the Monday. Monday, you're going to select your open house, right? On a Tuesday, you're going to post online that you're having an open house. You're going to put a sign out. You know how you have the riders that say open Saturday or open Sunday? You want to get a list of people in that neighborhood, people on your email list, anybody that you think would be interested in this property. Because right now, you really need to start spreading the word on how you're getting people out there. Okay? So then on a Tuesday, you're posting it. You're getting your list of people that you're calling, right? You start calling. Now, this is something that I say all the time. Social media right now is very important. Social media is the best way for you to get anything out there. So your goal of an open house is to first prepare for it. You have to know everything about that neighborhood. You have to know what the average days on the market are in that area. And y'all, if I go off script, because I'm looking at some of the stuff that I have to do, but I do open houses. So I'm just about to start talking to y'all. And for my PCs, y'all know what I do. So what you want to do is make sure that you know the average days on the market in that neighborhood. You want to know what the houses that have recently sold, what condition they were in, how many bedrooms they were, how much did it sell for per square foot, right? So when you're doing this, you're preparing, you're knowing everything. If it's not your listing, if it is your listing, you should already know all of that information. If it is not your listing, you're preparing for that neighborhood and you're finding out everything that you can find out about that particular neighborhood, okay? Then you put your rider out. Then after you put your rider out, you pick your days, and I would put it on social media every day leading up to it. You create a flyer. You're doing all of that on a Monday. You're creating your flyer. You're putting your sign up, okay? Then you want to start from Tuesday on to start sending it out to your email list. Start putting it on social media, Facebook, Instagram. I will put it on there every day as a reminder leading up to it, okay? Then the day of, you can also go live from your listing. But in preparation, these are the things that you have to start doing. Now, one thing that we do is we door knock, right? That's another way that we're getting who? Who are we getting in door knocking?
Neighborhood, so that they can invite anyone that might be interested, or like you say, pick your next neighbor.
Okay, all right. So now, what you want to do is, when you're door knocking, okay, everybody's listening to this, right? You can either door knock the day before, or you can door knock the day of. I always door knock the day of. And the reason being is because I'm talking as I'm going, I'm meeting the neighbors, I'm forming relationships, right? I have neighbors around some of my listings that I've gotten clients from, referrals from. They weren't ready to do anything, but they referred people to me. So your door knocking, you want to have a successful door knocking campaign going on to invite the neighbors. And what you want to do, if your open house is from, let's just say my open house is Saturday 1 to 3. I will go and invite the neighbors, and it's a script that you use. You know, with everything that we have, there is a script. And the script is saying that you're inviting the neighbors. You're having an open house, but you wanted to invite the neighbors 1 hour before. And this is what I always tell my neighbors. I tell the neighbors, I say, because I know you want to know who y'all want to make sure that you know who your next door neighbor is, right? So do you know anybody that's looking for a house right now? And that's the way you start talking to the neighbors. And then you forming relationships. Then they come through your open house, you're talking to them, and you've already created that relationship, right? Because the purpose of an open house is for you to sell the listing and also to get buyers and other sellers. Any comments right now? Talk to me.
This is Ruth, and I like doing open houses, but one of the one of the issues I have with doing the open house, a lot of times it's clients who have their agents already, and basically the agent wants them to see the house without them being with them. And you find a lot of that too.
Okay.
Open houses.
All right. So the agents are, anybody else want to say something to that?
Well, okay, you're marketing the house and they are, as the agent that's there, you were going to be there anyway. So I wouldn't look at it as so much as a nuisance, but as an opportunity. For some, if they're not satisfied with their agent, you may be their choice.
Okay, thank you, Steph. So this is the thing. When somebody is working with an agent, it's fine. Now I know if it's not your listing, your goal is you're looking for a buyer, right? But all of it is we have to come from contribution, right? So even if they do have another agent, you're, just striking a conversation with them and talking to them. And you never know. Next time they have a need, they might want to call you because of the lasting, the impact you made on them. I get people that call me that I don't even know who they are until I'm looking at them in their face, and then I'm like, oh yeah, now I remember. But I never act like I don't know who they are. I talk to them like I know who they are. And it'll be somebody that I met you a year ago and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm like, okay, yes. So never act like you don't know who they are. Keep trying to figure it out. And if you can't, when you're meeting with them, then if it still doesn't click, then you start talking to them. But right now, when you're doing open houses, you're doing these open houses to form relationships, right? So that you can get potential future sellers and buyers. Now, when you're door knocking the neighborhood and you're talking to the neighbors, you're getting their information. You're asking for their information also. And you're asking them, can I send you different things, changes that's going on in your market? You ask them for permission to start sending them, to put them in your database. And remember, everybody that is everybody that's doing open houses and people are coming to you, sometimes the neighbors already know the answers to the questions they're asking. So that's the reason why I'm telling you to prepare yourself. You have to prepare and know that neighborhood because you are the professional and you always want to be the professional. Now, if there's something you don't know an answer to, it's okay to say, I'm not sure, and I'll get back with you, right? So even if clients come by and sometimes they may say they have an agent and they really don't have an agent because it's just like we do. When we're in the store, when we're shopping, I hate for people to come up to me because I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm just browsing, right? But what do? They come up to you and they say, oh, can I help you? You say, oh, no, I got it. I'm good. But I'm really not good because then after I realize I really am looking for something that I can't find, then I'll go back to them. So sometimes they may just tell us that they're working with an agent. just because they don't want to get any, information from us. But as you constantly talking to them and you're creating a relationship, you're forming a relationship with them of a situation where they can trust you, and then they may loosen up to you, right?
Correct.
All right. So now look at this. I think I've done promote and host it. Okay. So now, what are you doing through your promoting and hosting?
Getting contact information for the people that come through the door.
Okay. I'm listening for y'all to answer, because I've been doing all of the talking. I want to hear. How do you build a rapport?
I try to bring little finger foods, especially if I'm doing it close to lunchtime, so they won't be looking at the house hangry.
Okay. Now, what you want to do, even if that person has an agent, you mark next to it that they have an agent, but you're also asking them to sign in, right? You want to greet everybody that walks through the door with a loving smile. And one thing that I didn't say, at open houses, we as realtors, this is our professional. This is our this is what we do for a living, right? We are professional realtors. This is our profession. So we want to dress the part. Always dress the part. If you're saying that you want to be known as the #1 real estate agent on the West Bank, if you want to be known as the #1 person, what that person sees of you, like right now, I don't think I would want anybody to look at me like this with a t-shirt on, right? We won't go out. This is for us behind the scenes. This is our behind the scenes look. But whenever you're in front of somebody, you always want to look like that professional real estate agent. And however that looks to you, because there's no cookie cutter, but you always want to look professional. Now, when you're promoting and hosting it, you want to qualify your leads. Can somebody tell me what qualifying leads mean?
Well, you interview them of sorts. You find out why they're there. They say that they're there to buy. Are you working with an agent? Have you spoken with a lender? You ask questions to kind of find out exactly where they are in the process.
Are they looking for themselves, or are they looking for a family member or a
What
friend?
are
Maybe somebody
some
relocated.
questions that you can ask? Okay, so very good. That's good questions that you're going to ask. And everything that we do is a script, right? When we're promoting our open houses and hosting our open houses, we can use the Ford relationship, the Ford method. If you talk about family,
Something's going on with reception. Am I the only one having problems?
no, I just
Yeah, it's kind of dragging.
yeah. Can you see me now?
We can see you, Deidre, but you may
Yeah,
have
we can.
to reshare your screen.
Okay, what just happened?
It was an internet issue. There we go.
Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. Okay. Now, so what type of questions would you ask? Okay, let me start calling on people that I haven't heard from.
Are you working with an agent already?
Okay, that's the first question we always ask, right, Ruth?
Right.
You also want to know, are they looking for themselves or are they looking for a relative or a friend?
Okay, very good.
How
Because-
soon? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say how soon they might be looking to move.
Right.
Okay.
How long have they been looking? You know, have they been looking for a while and they just can't find what they're looking for?
Okay.
If they're pre-approved, that's the big question.
Right. That's the big question. Find out if they have been, you know, spoken with the lender and gone through that process to get pre-approved.
Now, I don't know if I would do that at an open house, y'all. I would probably do that in my follow-up. Do you have money to buy this house? If not, you have to go. No, I'm just playing.
No, you don't have to come straightforward and ask, but sometimes people look at houses just to look like something. Like a few couples when I was hosting an open house in English Turn. You know, they're just browsing. They're not necessarily looking. They just browsing. So it's like, but they'll give you all their contact information, and you know, because they're okay with sharing the information, but they're really not interested in buying at the current time.
And it's okay. It's okay. I love the nosy neighbors. I love them. You know why? The nosy neighbors is who I'm forming the relationships with. Remember? Those neighbors, they're telling me everything about that neighborhood that the seller didn't tell me, right? They're looking at it. You know how many nosy neighbors I've had to send people that they're either their children, a family member or a friend to purchase a home from me? I've had, when I counted the last time, I think it was like 6. Now I've been in real estate 13 years, but 6 is still better than 0, right? From a nosy neighbor. So I love the neighbors because I want them to talk, and the more people that's over there, then, you know, if you notice when you have an open house, if people start coming, more and more people that are, if you're in a high traffic area, more people will start coming. And that's what you want. You want them, like the outside of a house is what invites you in, right? So you want to invite them in your house. That's like the outside of the house. Once you get them in, now they're on your terms, right? You start asking questions. And even if they're walking around looking and trying not to answer your questions, say, oh yeah, I like that. You see that high ceiling? Isn't that beautiful? You know, you start talking to them. And you start asking the probing questions. Like you said, are you looking? If you are looking for a home, when are you looking to move by, right? Right? So we do ask those questions, and we want to know if they're interested in that particular property. And if they're not interested in it, what is it about this particular property that that they're not interested in? Because we want that, right? We want to get people telling us about our properties and our listings. We want constructive criticism, right? Miss Myra? Miss Myra? Miss Myra have had open houses. She don't want to talk. Rhonda? Can y'all hear me? Can somebody say something? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, Joan, you're next. It's on you then.
For what, darling?
So tell me some, what type of value would you show them?
What type of value I'll show the people coming
coming through your open houses, your visitors?
Basically, what I would do in a conversation with them, I'll also talk about the market in that particular locale. Given them
cheat sheet is right on y'all screen too.
Yeah, giving them a snapshot and talking to them about the location, also where they're looking to buy, that type of stuff. That's the value.
So why would you want to give a visitor to your open house a snapshot of that neighborhood?
Well, they're coming to see if they are a seller, then I want to have that seller start thinking that maybe, who knows, because usually when one person puts up a for sale sign, you can look for someone else looking to sell probably within the next 2 weeks, and it may be them. So kind of, you know, that's what I would kind of display in a conversation. Of course, getting this conversation started with them about the house first, and then moving it along, finding out what they're looking for, et cetera, and then taking them into, otherwise showing them my knowledge of that area as well.
Okay, very good. Now, when you're talking to, when you have potential buyers or potential sellers that's coming through, when you have a potential buyer and they're looking at that house, and you know, we know the lookers, right? And we can tell the really interested, you know, people. We know people that just, because some people just love open houses. They just like looking at houses, right? But we also know the ones that are serious. So some questions that we can ask is, do you like, you know, what do you like about this neighborhood? And if they tell you they like the school district, so then you can ask them, okay, so do you like this house? And if they say, well, yeah, but it's such and such. Okay, well, tell me, this is what I do all the time. Well, tell me what you're looking for, because I can help you to find, you know, what you're looking for. And so then they start talking to you. Well, man, I wanted like maybe 4 bedrooms. I really wanted a larger yard. So then you have them to start talking to you. And while they're talking to you, you already have them signed in, right? And you can make notes next to it, next to their names. And your reason is because if I can't sell you on this one, I will sell you on something else if you're not working with an agent, right? And so then I set up an appointment at that time. Now, you have some people that are leery about setting an appointment, because what I'll do is I'll tell them, I say, okay, so what's your availability this coming week? I ask them their availability. And if they tell me, well, I work in the mornings, you know, I'm off in the evenings, or I go to work in the evening, then I tell them what times that I can do. But I always ask their availability, right?
Yeah, Deidre, also too, being comfortable and having a conversation with them, it makes it easier for the follow-up, because within that next week, you're gonna give them a call to follow up with them and ask some probing questions.
Right, okay, and you dig deep in the questions, because as I said before, and think of yourselves, we're not always open and honest with everybody about how we feel about things, right? Wait, I'm passing this up. I'm trying to get to y'all. Hold on. What? Who said well?
No, when you said that when you're not open and honest about something, and I'm like, well.
You know, sometimes you don't want people bothering you if it's something that you think you could look for on your own. But as you start the conversations, sometimes people don't really know what they want.
True.
And as you start questioning them, you're helping them to determine what they want.
Yes.
And then you go for the gusto. You set that appointment.
Yes.
When you're door knocking, you're setting appointments. When you're door knocking, you're looking to get leads. Everything we're doing is to get a lead. If I get a buyer, a seller, it's a win, right? And that's our goal, is to get that lead.
Yes.
So the worst thing in the world is for an agent to have an open house and only put open in the yard, put the open sign in the yard, and put it in the MLS. We say that about agents that look for listings and pray that somebody buy it. We do that same thing with open houses. So for years, and me included, for years, we had open houses with nobody showing up, one person showing up. But I guarantee you, when you go the next step, you purposely invite people, you purposely go and door knock, I guarantee you, you will get traffic to your open house. It's been proven. I had one listing that I had 2 productivity coaching clients host that house open a Saturday and a Sunday. The person that opened it that Saturday door knocked that whole neighborhood. That person had 6 people and that person got 1 listing. That Sunday person did nothing but show up. And guess what she got?
Nothing.
So the moral to this story is we get out of it what we put in it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
It's 11:11, y'all. I always say that 11:11. The Lord just always let me look up when it's 11:11. Okay. So now we have in our system, we have the open house in our toolkit. We have in our open house toolbox, we have the sign-in sheet. So who would show up to an open house without a sign-in sheet? It's right here. You can do it. You can either do it with paper, or some people have their iPads there and they let them in. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm still old school. But some people, and Bonita, can you tell how it worked out when you did it? Bonita is one that I definitely know did it. Sage does it. I don't know if Sage is on this call. But Bonita, can you come in and say how that worked for you?
Yeah, I love the iPad because they walk in, they type everything in already, and then you just convert it to your CRM. You don't have to type, you know, if they're coming in and writing their name, address, email, phone number, you have to then do double work and create and convert that into your database. But if you use your iPad, they type all that in there for you, and then you just export the list. So it's a lot easier.
Okay, and so, and we're always asking them to sign in. And if they say, oh, I don't want to give you my information, tell them it's for safety purposes. The seller wants to know everybody that came through their home. Isn't that good? Because you do know you have some people that don't want to give you their information.
I have a question. How do we think that's going to work with the virtual? I'm sorry, I'm transferring from the phone to the computer. How do we think that's going to work with the virtual tours? How are they signing in with the virtual tour?
Okay, so as I stated in the beginning, I am not sure, and whoever have done it virtually, which Kathy was the one who did it virtual. Kathy, can you help us here? It should be a way that you should see who was on your Facebook Live.
I saw
when she went Facebook Live. I know when I do Facebook Live, I can see who's on there.
Can you hear me, Deidre?
Yes, I can hear you. What you said?
I haven't done it personally, but I saw online where somebody suggested maybe having them give you their email and you email them the link to be able to log in virtually to see the showing. So that was a way to kind of capture some of their information.
Okay.
Okay.
So everybody understand that?
Yes, yes.
But I would think if they're doing Facebook Live, they can go in and DM the information. You could say, if you have your information, you could DM your information, which is going to go into the inbox where you'll be able to get all the information from your inbox on your Facebook account.
Right. You could get their email. And you can I took my phone number off because I was getting crazy calls from people. And so I took somebody did me something on Facebook that I was like, I don't want any of my private information public. But then I do. I'm a realtor, so I need my phone number to be public, but I did take it off of Facebook and I have my email address on there though. So now, what are some questions that you think should be that you're putting? You know how I said I'll put an asterisk by them? You want to put if they are hot, you know how we do with leads, right? Warm, cold, and hot. And you could write down what they said. If they're looking to buy within the next 30 days, if they're just looking and maybe a year they were thinking of selling their home. So that's another thing I've gotten from open houses. Somebody that had to sell their home to buy a home. So they came to my open house. They had a house that was not on the market or not listed, but they had just been thinking about a new house. So then I got the listing and I got them as a buyer. I've also had somebody, and the reason that I'm telling you relationships are so important, I had somebody that on this listing, and if anybody have any listings in Pontchartrain Park has been my highest traffic ever. Every listing that I've gotten in Pontchartrain Park, it's the highest, minimum 10 people. So I had a listing on the street on Stephen Girard. That listing, I sold that listing like a year ago. This lady called the Market Center. She didn't remember my name. Now that's sad, she didn't remember my name, but she remembered Keller Williams. And the first Keller Williams number that she called was our Market Center. And she told them she's looking for an agent, and she said her name starts with a D, and she had a listing on Stephen Girard. I listed and sold her house. So that's the importance of relationships. And everybody, I know everybody's not a talker like me, but there are questions, like the Ford scripts is a script that we can use to become familiar with that person. We're not all from New Orleans, but New Orleans is just a naturally friendly place that you can talk to people. So that's whenever you're doing an open house and whenever you have a listing, you're looking to get leads from that person, right? All right, any questions on that? We moving to the next. Is everybody there? Can everybody hear me? Just check in.
Yes.
Yes. Thank y'all. Just somebody say I'm here.
Yeah.
All right. Thank y'all.
We're here. We're here.
Okay. Now, prospecting is capturing the lead. Okay. If you are not familiar with creating a neighborhood landing page, we're not going to do it right now, but we are going to do some more command classes. Like Katie, when are we doing a command class? Because I know Katie was looking to get a command class going.
There are classes every day with Nick Baldwin.
Right, with Nick, but I thought you were going to get somebody from us to do one. No?
We can work on that.
Okay, all right. No, I just thought last week we had said that we were going to have a command class. So that's fine. No, we are PCs. We're doing commands. And so every other week, we're going to do something, bring action to it where you're creating. So I want for homework for everybody, I want you to learn how to create a landing page, and you do it in command. And you click on the consumer icon. And maybe we'll do this if we have time but everybody is not KW. So, all right. Now, safety first, okay? Now, Nicole, when we were talking about safety at open houses, Nicole was saying when she's showing the house, she never park in the driveway. Guess what? I used to always park in the driveway until she had just had this discussion with me one day, telling me not to park in the that she don't park in the driveway. Somebody followed me to this listing that I was going to, turned on the street with me, everything. I was scared because then he parked there, but he was dressed nice because he was a realtor. He actually was the listing agent that was headed to put the lockbox on for me to show it. I parked in the driveway and he parked behind me. I started my car so I could back up, and I backed up out of the driveway, realizing that I said that I would never do that, right? And I did it. So safety first, y'all. Safety first with everything that we do. I watched something, and I know everybody has seen this with the realtor that was murdered showing the property. So, but that had nothing to do with real estate. It was a personal vendetta, but always safety first when we're out here on the street, especially we women, men too, but we women. So now what do? We park on the street. We meet the neighbors, never turn our back on the prospect. So never walk in front, walk behind them. Always look for an escape route. And always let someone know where you are and when you'll be done. That's one thing that I do. I let somebody know where I'm at. If I'm going somewhere, and I actually have my daughter have my location on her phone. And make sure that your cell phone is charged. All right. Now, we've had a successful door knocking and preparation for the open house, right? We've hosted the open house, right? And we've received a minimum of 10 people to sign up. Now, what do we do with that? Can somebody tell me?
Follow up, call, send a card. If, depending on what information you have, if it's email, then email them something. I noticed you were at my open house at such and such an address. I just wanted to touch base with you. What did you think? Ask them some questions. What did you really think about the listing? What do you think about the neighborhood? That's maybe if you didn't get a chance to actually talk to them at the open house.
Okay, very good.
Add them to your database.
Okay. So now, what we do is, remember, this is something that I do. I always send them, and I tell them that. I said, I asked for their email address. I said, I will email the link to you and also text the link to you for this property in case you know someone that may be interested in it. So now we have our consumer app is different now. It's made for the consumer. And so on Monday, we are following up with our leads from the weekend because that was our purpose, right? So now what do? We follow up. We add them to our database, right? We add them to our database because we've already told them that we were going to send them some information, right? So now you're going to place that prospect in your database immediately immediately. What we don't want is a stack of people that we have to add to our database. So as you're getting this is 10 people, because you're supposed to be doing the 10-4, right? You're supposed to be adding 10 people a day to your database. You're supposed to be talking to 10 people, right? You're supposed to be sending 10 notes, and you're supposed to be previewing 10 homes. And that's an easy fix. Every morning, or you could say at 12 o'clock in the day, check the hot sheet. 5 o'clock, check the hot sheet. You previewing everything that's coming out, no matter where it's at. Right? So you're gonna immediately place them in your database. And you're not just placing them in your database. We're no longer just adding people to our database. We're cultivating them, right? So now this person, we're going to follow them. We're going to nurture them, right? So we're going to input them in our database, and we're going to input them as an immediate buyer, a future buyer, immediate seller, future seller. Then we have smart plans that's in command, and we went over the smart plans on Monday with PCs, but we have smart plans. Smart plans, and Keller Williams even have a smart plan to follow up with open houses, but it's not activated yet. There's a smart plan. So when I'm saying you're placing that client on a smart plan, all you're doing is one thing: placing them in your database and putting them on a smart plan. The computer system is doing the rest. Is that great or not? Talk to me. Can y'all hear me?
Fantastic.
Isn't that good though? Once we put them in there and we put them on a certain smart plan, that's what the smart plans are for. Your database will be talked to constantly.
If you have like some personal marketing, would you ask their permission that you'll be able to send that to them as well by email?
Well, yes. So that's what I do. So also I'll tell them, I'm gonna send them the link to the house, and I'll tell them that I'm gonna put them in my database. So when anything in our market changes, I'll send it to them. I'll update them. And everybody want to know what's going on in the market, so they say, okay.
That's true.
All right. So now we want to start touching these people. We now have them. This is a lead. And the money is in the follow-up. Okay? So what are we doing? We're cultivating them. We're placing them on a campaign, which is called a smart plan. That will communicate to them as often as you choose. We also have individualized smart plans that you can create. So I would say to everybody that's on this call, we need to spend at least 1 hour a day on command. Because every day we get an email from Jody that tells us everything, and Katie sends us the emails with the recaps, but Jody sends us an email on every class that there is that day, starting at 7 o'clock in the morning. And we can get in on all or none. But who knows, the most calls that we get on, the more that we learn, the better we become, right? We have to become diligent.
So that becomes a part of your time block. Block yourself time for your education to further your business.
Yes. So we need to block time. Our calendars should reflect daily time that we have blocked out for lead generating to grow our business, right? So we need to block out time to grow our business. If you want to take 2 hours a day to grow your business, then take 1 hour a day to run your business, meaning learning command, learning everything that you have to do, adding your people to your database. It's a lot that we have to learn. But if we break it down in little chunks, we can do it. Get that knowledge. Act on that knowledge. All right? So now, these are some ways that you can get people to your open house so that you can stand out at the open house, right? You can host a speaker. You can offer a gift. You need to so this is something that I may do sometimes is at my home buying seminars or at open houses is offer a little gift card, have them to sign in. That's another way to get people to sign in, to get their name on the list for a drawing. You want that house in showing shape. So if you know, if the house is being lived in, make sure that your owner knows, the seller of that particular property knows that it needs to be clean, smelling good. You can burn candles throughout the house because you want it to have that a great aroma flowing through the home, right? Call Bonita. Bonita, can you come bake me some cookies in this oven? Or can you just give me the cookies and I'll put them in the oven when I get there? Right? So
yeah, I can make you guys some brownies, brownie batter, and then you just pop it in the oven.
Yeah, we can do that for real. Bonita can start her brownie batter business. This is her brownie batter from scratch, right?
Don't burn it.
Sell it to us. Now you need to tell me that because I'll be in the front talking to somebody and forget the brownies are in the oven.
Up for it.
All right.
Give me a candle.
You can, you do a raffle, you do anything that you can to get people out. So when you're when you're advertising your open house, you want to make your open house attractive because you want to get as many people in there as you can. Now, when you're at your open house, something else that one of the agents did, and I loved it, is we did a walk. He walked through live, and I was showing the house, showing everything about the particular property. I'm the voice talking, and he's showing it, and that was perfect. So you can do those things. Just like that's what we're going to be doing now. Like Kathy did, she was virtual, and it wasn't good at first, but practice makes perfect, right? And once everybody get adjusted to this is our new way of living, virtual open houses, let's go for it. I'm going to do a virtual open house this weekend, Kathy. I'm doing one to see what I get. And I'll come back to y'all next week on the call and let y'all know how I did. Who wants to join me in doing a virtual open house this weekend? That's a lead generating for you. Nobody? I'm assuming nobody is listening to me right now.
No, I'm all in, Ms. Deidre.
I would like to. I'm listening. I would have to virtually show somebody else's listing.
And you can do that. You can do that. Right? We could get together. Let's get together after the call and let's see how we can make this happen and make it a fun event.
Okay.
All right. So now, is everybody okay with everything so far? Do you have any questions?
I would like to get the link for I missed the one last Saturday because I was supposed to have a family Zoom call and things didn't work out. So anyway, I missed the virtual last weekend, but if you send me the link, I'd like to come to it by link so I can see how you work it.
Okay, as soon as I figure all of that out, and I promise you I will. And
All
my
right, I'm
open
gonna
house
send you
will
my
be
email.
Sunday.
All right, I'm gonna send you my email.
Okay, all right. Okay, so now, as a host, you always want to welcome visitors at the door. Of course, we said this already, get the house in showing condition, and always think safety first. Let me tell y'all what I did one time. At one of my open houses that I had uptown, one of the neighbors, because I'm always, okay, so this is a pet peeve for me. When you have an open house, I don't care what the temperature is, 100 degrees or 20 degrees, have the door open. It's an open house, right? I get a chair, I sit on the porch, or I stand on the porch. Because people, what you don't see when you're inside, and what I see, people ride down slowly and start looking at the house. And then I say, come in, come on, come in. You invite them in. That's a potential client for you. They may not be looking today, but when they are looking, you want to be on top of their mind. Who's a potential client here, y'all? Who's a potential client?
Everybody.
Thank you. Every human being. Yes. Let's look at it that way. And the stuff that we have to do for our business, if we don't have any employees, we need to be doing all of this, okay? Now, what you don't do, the reason that I don't use the computer is because I don't want to leave my computer sitting on the counter. That was always my pet peeve. They're saying don't leave valuables exposed. So if you have your iPad, make sure it's with you. Make sure your purse is in the car, in the trunk of your car. Or if you have it, strap it around you. Never leave the keys to the house sitting around.
Deidre, also too, if they could have someone else at the open house with them. Now, I don't know if this is going to be like a vacant house. Well, in this situation that we're in now, vacant houses I can see doing or whatever. But if they could always have someone else, whether it's the husband or a son or whatever, a second person. But one habit I had whenever I had open houses, and the house was vacant, even though I had some information and literature on the kitchen counter, if a gentleman came along to view the open house, I just opened the door and tell him, go right ahead, view the house. We got 3 bedrooms, 2 baths upstairs, et cetera, et cetera. And I will stay out front. In your situation, you say you sit on the porch. But that's just some safety tip that I practice.
I was going to say the same thing, Joan. I don't do open houses by myself at all.
Me either. I always have somebody. It's normally Jane and I or somebody else with myself. And the reason being, let me tell you why I don't. For safety reasons. The second thing is because if you're showing it and somebody else is coming through, I like to walk through, especially if a house is being lived in and have furniture and stuff in it. I like to walk through with them and make sure that they see the things of that house, about that house that stand out. That's what I do. I know most times it's just an open house and you let them walk around. I walk with them. So when I would do one in Pontchartrain Park, it'd have to be more because you go in here, another group coming in, another group coming in, another group. So you want to make sure that you have somebody. And I've also had it where I've had a friend to sit in his car when I had to do one by myself to watch me, but not with me, but sitting outside.
Deidre, another thing is if you have an assistant or someone who's not a realtor helping you with the open house, make sure that they're not answering questions about the house to the people.
That's a very good point. If they're not an agent, they cannot do an open house with you. They can be there to sign in people, but they can't talk for you. But I mean, I don't know so if you have a family member or if you have a non-licensed assistant.
Can they give them information, a flyer? They can give them information though. Well, you know, so-and-so will be free shortly, but here's some information. And then if you have more questions, you know, Deidre will be with you shortly.
Yeah, they can pass out flyers and give information. They can sign people in. You know, they can walk around and watch them, but they just can't answer questions like, for example, I had an open house and I had my assistant with me, and the guy asked how much the house was. Well, it's on the flyer, but she can't say.
She can't answer that, right?
Can't answer that question.
Yeah, and that's the truth, you know. So now we have, you know, but I love open houses, and I think I love open houses because I love people. Like me being behind this right here is driving me because I can't touch y'all. You know, I want to see you. I want to talk. So that's me. Some people are comfortable behind the scenes. So I love open houses because of that reason. And I'll tell you, and Benita, I wanted you to share this. Benita had done one of my open houses in Esplanade Ridge, and she door knocked the day before. The day of, but it was hot. So you always have to look at the weather and all. So she had to go home to take a shower to come back because she was drenched, right?
Yeah.
And another thing is you have to have riders. You have to have directionals. Not riders. You have to have as many signs pointing to that house as you can. I had a listing in Laplace. It was all the way down St. Andrew. I started at Belterre, and I don't know if y'all familiar with it, but I had like 10 signs pointing to the house because it was a whole bunch of subdivisions, and people came because they saw my signs. Everybody that came because of my sign.
Yeah, I want to second that because I put out Facebook ads, Instagram ads. I put out like 10,000 ads digitally. And I put out 30 signs, and then I had a big flag in front of the house. I had one person who came to the open house from the Instagram and Facebook ads. The majority of the people came either from my door knocking or because they saw the sign 2 blocks down the street.
Yes. So do we want to door knock when we can?
Yes.
Yes. So when I'm saying to you, when I first became an agent, I was doing everything that I knew how, the Lord was helping me. You know, I did an open house everywhere. West Bank, Metairie, Kenner, New Orleans East, Gentilly, Harahan. All of them, I never got more than 5 people, except if it was one in Pontchartrain Park. Because what I did was I put the rider on there saying that it was open Saturday. The street it was on was only a street that people could, my first one, that you had to live on that street to go down that street. I put my rider, my directionals out, and I put balloons on them. I used to bring a lot of food, like finger food, drinks, and I got tired of bringing it back home. So now what I'll do is I'll have water, and that's it. But Bonita brownie smelling through the house is good because why? It made it smell like a home.
Yeah, and Deidre, remember the bowl coach, teacher, instructor, Dennis Russell?
Yeah.
He said when he was doing open houses, he put out like 21 to 30 signs coming from open houses, signs from all directions, pointing and showing how to get to that property.
Yes, that's key. That's what we as veteran agents have missed out on.
Also, I get obnoxious with signs right in front of the homes, the little directionals that you can buy at like Home Depot, whatever, that say open house. I might put 5 of those just to make sure, just, you know, if you didn't notice it before, you notice it now. And I also maybe have, instead of, like you said, I was buying the food and, you know, all this, walk away snacks, a bag of chips, cookies, crackers, something like that.
Yeah, the bag of chips that you could bring back home and bring back the next time. You know, the little bags, the big bag
Right.
that have the little bags in it.
Right. And I've even had, when I've done broker house open tours, where agents said, oh, thank you, you know, because we needed something to hold us over.
Right. And right, on the caravan, right. So what you want to do for an open house to make your open house very effective is what? Everything. Preparing it, right? Advertising it. You know that area. Advertising it. Door knocking. Then you're set up for the day of. Then the hard work comes after. And after, that's where our money is. These people came to our open house. They gave me their information. So they are going in my database. I didn't write their information down. They gave it to me voluntarily. Now they're in my database. They're going to get that person. If somebody says they're working with an agent, you cannot solicit that person if they're working with an agent. But if they're in your database and you have them on a drip campaign, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I know I have clients, other people's clients, and they probably have mine, because this is New Orleans. We all know, you know, a lot of us know the same people.
Isn't that if you have a buyer's agreement on that client? Like, even if they're working with an agent, if they don't have a contract with that agent, that's just somebody, you know, because a lot of buyers think that if I make a sign call, then yeah, that agent showed me this house, and then I call the next agent for another house. I thought you can only not work with them if they have a signed agreement, but if they don't, then it's kind of free game.
Well, I never go to the step of do you have an agreement signed. If they say they're working with another agent, I just say okay.
But couldn't you just ask, okay, who are you working with? Because like you said, you're in New Orleans a lot. You guys know a lot of the same people. So if you say, well, who are you working with? You know, that kind of, because as you said earlier in the call, if they're just telling you that because they don't want to answer any questions or they don't want to, you kind of in an easy way put them on the spot. And then if they give you a name, then they may be more legit. You understand what I'm saying? They may
I do ask. I do. I go that next step, and I do. I ask or say, okay, so who are you working with? Who is your agent? And I say, oh yeah, I know him, or oh no, I haven't heard of that person. So I say, okay, good. Well, you know, I wish you well in your home search. So I do ask that question.
Or even go a step further when they give you the name, especially if it's like your open house. Well, you know what? If you have any questions, have your agent call me.
Or we can do like Kathy did. Kathy, are you on the call, Kathy? Are you still on? Kathy may have left.
Yeah, I don't see her.
Okay, Kathy called me last week because one of my clients checked one of her properties that she had just put on the market, and she could see that it was my client. So she called me to see if my client was interested in it. Now that's really going that extra mile. That's Kathy being diligent. I thought she was just calling to say hi. All right. So now these are some things that we bring with us. Disinfecting wipes, right? Lysol, 99.9% killer, right?
Toilet paper should be
now.
Toilet paper.
It's on there. Toilet paper, paper towels, pens, air freshener, extra business cards, backup batteries, measuring, trash bags, tissues. You see it?
I know, I see it, but I said it should be top of the list because how many times you have people or kids, children that come through the house. Of course, the water has to be on, but you know, how owners for some reason don't tend to think that. You need
Yes.
a roll of tissue in the house.
Yes. Toilet tissue. You have to have toilet tissue. Me, my 56-year-old bladder, you know, I'm always having to go to the restroom. Surprised I don't have to go yet, y'all. I shouldn't have said anything. All right. So now, any questions? Nothing? Okay. So now, follow up. Where is our money?
In the details, in the follow-up.
Okay. So, oh shoot, wait. So now, there are different things. Okay. Your money is in the follow-up, right? So when you're following up with them, remember what we're doing. We're putting them in our database. We're calling them. We're emailing them, thanking them for coming for attending our open house, and letting them know that this is a copy of the property because I've already told them I'll be sending it to them, right? Right? Because our main goal is for everybody that comes through that door is for us to cultivate a relationship, right?
Yes.
Why do you think it's so important for us to cultivate a relationship? I say that all the time, but why do you think it's so important?
Because even if they're not interested or they're not ready, they may know someone who is. So you always referrals.
Right.
Building your sphere of influence.
Yes.
You know, you're always going back to them. Like you said, they're not ready now. They will be, or they will know somebody down the future, and they will remember. You want to remain top of mind with them. Oh yeah, I forgot you were selling real estate.
Okay. So now, we want to always form and cultivate a relationship with someone so that they can trust us. Don't you trust people that you're in relationship with? We all know people. We know how that person is, you know, and you know whether you can trust them.
Yes.
I think she's frozen again.
Can you hear us? Deidre, can you hear us?
Is Katie on here? Katie?
Technical difficulties. She dropped out. Katie, oh no, Katie's there. Katie.
I think she typed that earlier. There's Deidre. Deidre's back, but she's muted.
It looks like she's frozen too.
Still frozen though.
All right, I'm out. I have something to do, so
Me too.
see you guys.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
Bye, y'all have a good day. Thanks
Y'all
for
be safe.
Bye.
Katie's name is on here. It's just There Deidre is. We can see you, Deidre. Now, there you go.
This thing keep going from different Wi-Fis, and I know it have to do with me and my son making Wi-Fi calls
Oh, okay.
at the same time. He's working. He works for Progressive.
A couple people said they had to go. I know Joan was one, but it was somebody else too.
Nita?
Yeah, me, I'm leaving.
Y'all leaving?
Yeah.
Wait.
Wait.
Yeah, wait, because we are just about finished. We're on the last one, and my phone and went dead.
Okay.
Hold on, we're almost finished. Let me go back to my screen because my phone and went dead too. This is not the right one. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank y'all for bearing with me. I'm coming. Hold on. This wrong one popped up. Can y'all see that?
Nope.
Oh.
Okay. Well, actually, it is we were at the end anyway. All right, y'all. So any questions y'all have, any ahas or anything on open houses?
Deidre, you want to share your 7th level open house? Maybe have Katie put that sheet that you have.
Yes, I will.
All right.
I will do that. I'm trying to get back on my screen where I can. Can y'all see the share?
No.
Nope.
Did you hit it twice?
Okay, wait. I'm trying to get to the where I was to get it. Hold on.
There we go.
Yeah, now it's want me to sign in as Jody and all of that. Wait. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna pull up the 7th level so I can, y'all want a picture of it?
Yeah,
Because they didn't have that in here, but I'll send it to Katie to send it out. So the 7th level open house, the first level is you have to put on, you prepare for it, right? The second thing is you put the sign in the yard, okay? Once you put the sign in the yard, saying open Saturday or open Sunday, you put your rider on. And whoever is doing the open house, they would have to put it on there for you, right? So the third thing that you're going to do is you're going to create your marketing material and you're going to start advertising it. You're going to advertise it on social media. You're going to advertise it with your sphere. You're going to advertise it every way possible, right? On social media. I'm gonna stop sharing, I can't find it. So you're gonna share it, you're gonna put it everywhere you can. Wait, I just lost y'all again, hold on. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm are y'all looking at my screen too?
No.
Okay, so you don't see my screen, but you can see me. I'm just gonna leave the computer alone. I can't put nothing up because everything that I'm trying to pull up is not working right. All right. So then you want to, and that's what we did. We put the as seasoned agents, what we did was we would put it in the MLS that it's open. We put the rider on the house and we'll put a directional point into the house, right? Now, your next levels is you want to be able to door knock, you want to go and invite the businesses, tell the businesses in that neighborhood, drop them off an open house flyer, letting them know, because somebody at that business that work in that area may want to live in that area. Then you, your next, in our agents have been doing a 5 level, but the 7 level is, then you're looking, you calling all of your contacts that you invited to come to the open house. You're following up with everybody also after the open house is over. But I'm gonna send you a email to Katie, a copy of the 7th level, so that you have it and you're familiar with it. All right. Hello.
Thank you.
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Y'all got to talk to me because I really can't even see anybody.
I was trying to unmute and I kept missing it.
All right. So I want to thank y'all for coming, showing up. Do y'all have any questions?
No, ma'am.
And I have somebody calling. I'm not sure who this is. I'm thinking it's somebody from the phone. All right. So any ahas, anything y'all want to talk about, whoever's still on?
I'm excited about the virtual, like trying a virtual open house just to see the response.
So y'all can join me. I'm back to y'all. Okay. Whew. I can see y'all now. Okay, I have a 12 p.m. meeting. Okay. Group left. All right. So any ahas, any questions about anything?
Real quick, y'all, tomorrow we have seller appointments with Rionda Pierre.
Yay, Rionda.
Yeah. So we will see y'all then. I have to get off now. I'm on the phone, but if y'all need anything, just email, call me, whatever you need, okay?
Okay, so we're all about to get off and end the call, and I'm going to give to Kate.